Hope you're safe and doing good. Two problems I'm having. I seem to be matching more with average women in their 40s, some upper 30s that have already had kids and don't want any more, and seem to be all about their dogs. Nothing against that. I'm a little bit about my dog too. But struggling to get matches from women in their 20s. Most of my pics are professional and one or two self photos. What do you recommend? I'm working on abs and physique, a little skinny fat, but getting there. Do ab pics work and how do you feel about them? So, couple of points. Goes back to what I said earlier about photos. Photos are going to matter so much in online dating. You might have professional photos right now, but I can't make a judgment call if they feel candid and real or they feel like you got a photo shoot. Because funny enough, guys think, okay, I'll just go and get some photographer to take some pro pics. But if they feel forced and like this guy only took a photo shoot, it almost doesn't carry any weight. It's like as if you had mediocre photos because it feels staged. So that's what I also think is really important for a good photographer when it comes to online dating is knowing how to make the person feel real and not like they're in a photo shoot or a stock business portrait like this, because that generally doesn't perform well. So I would say if you're not getting the quality matches you want, photos are going to be a part of that. I'd have to look at if the professional photos look candid enough, look interesting enough, how they're edited and stylized, because even that is key too. For dating and being cool in social media, there's also looks to photos, right? Corporate business headshots tend to be really clean, really bright, really high saturated in colors. And it just gives like a warm, happy look. But sometimes that performs a little less well than kind of a cooler palette, which is a little edgy and a little bit more interesting or mysterious. So even the way that the photos are edited can make a difference. And then overall, I would say, yeah, man, inevitably, online dating is a platform that sometimes makes people shallowly judge people within a second. And even if you do everything right, just there are some women in their 20s who are like, hey, this guy's got a 4 in front of the name, and that is going to be a challenge for some of them. It really doesn't matter in person. It's the same thing. I'm never anyone to sugarcoat it. You look at the data sometimes on men that are non-white in online dating, and they do have a slightly harder time. In person, I don't see that at all, man. If I was to take my data and was like, went out with somebody of any kind, I don't really see much of a difference in variability if you present yourself well. But online dating, inevitably, yes. That's why, same thing with women. You have women on Instagram. If you're like an average looking woman to the world, some of your photos get not that much. If you're a beautiful girl who shows a little bit of skin, you get tons of likes. It's just the way that the platforms are. And then you said, do ad pics really work and how do you feel about them? That's a funny question. If you got really good abs, man, and you've got a shot, definitely not the first photo, almost always. But if you've got really, really nice abs and a physique, and again, you take it in a candid way. Like I saw a cool picture of a dude you gave to me where he's like stand-up paddleboarding and he's like on like this little bit of active water and he looks like in the moment and his abs just happen to be there. Hell yeah, it looks good. There's nothing wrong with a good body. But if you're just kind of taking shirtless pics like this, it generally, same thing if it looks a little like douchey or posed or this guy's really arrogant, not so much. But do I think that suddenly an ab pic is going to make a huge difference in getting you results? Absolutely not. So do I think you need them? No, not at all. I mean, there's so many guys with great online profiles that definitely don't have ab pics. So I wouldn't go out of my way. I wouldn't think the answer to my online dating struggles are I need to get in shape and get an ab picture because that's going to make suddenly a huge difference. It won't. I do think that overall getting higher quality photos that are edited in a way that look attractive to online dating, and photos that look candid are going to make a bigger difference. But then again, there will always be a limit on who you are with online dating. There will be an inevitable cap, and that won't be the same thing in person. The other thing I'll just tell you guys, I know this sounds shitty and a lot of people don't want to do it, but especially the last year, these apps are pay to play. These companies know that they only make money through paid services like boosts or spotlights where you're getting to the top of people's matches. And before it wasn't that key, but now that's the only way they make money is subscription services. So they're not stupid. They know that if people are paying, in general, they have to reward them. Otherwise, they're going to lose paying customers. So I would say if you're not getting what you want online, and you have the money to spare, I'm not saying go out and blow money for like arbitrary online dating, but I would say like sometimes instead of just swiping like hell for a month or 2 months and hating it, spend $20, do a couple of boosts and spotlights, see if it makes a huge difference. And for the vast majority, I see that it does nowadays. And it's a balance of your money versus your time. Obviously, if money's a problem, don't go spend your money on like that. But if you got money to spend and you're like, I don't want to spend 2 months, beating my head against the wall, I would say try it because the app and the algorithms are generally going to reward you for it.